So we have the signal quality tab, which I just spent a while describing. Let's briefly skip by the expressive suite. And this, you can see it's recording Hong's blinks. We're going to talk more about the expressive suite a little bit later in the presentation, but you can see we've got a few UI controls here that we can use to adjust the sensitivity, and we have an avatar that represents the facial expressions of the user wearing the headset. Let's move on to the effective tab. Wow, Hong has remained pretty cool under pressure. We have both a long and short-term chart here that displays Hong's excitement level. We have some additional effective detections that actually aren't displayed on this particular chart. If you come down to our booth, you can see an example of how we've hooked up an engagement detection to the game that Demiurge has helped us to build. Zach will talk a little bit more about that later in the presentation. But a future version of Control Panel, in fact, the version of Control Panel that we plan on shipping to you in the next couple of weeks, has an additional chart that displays that detection as well. A frustration detection is also in the works, and we intend to be releasing that to game developers in the very near future as well. Let's move on to cognitive. All right, now we are at the tab on which we have the most of our fun at Emotiv. This is the tab that allows you to control the actions of an object on screen with the power of your mind. Hong is going to give us a brief demonstration if he feels like things are running well here. What Hong's doing here is he's basically recording his baseline state. So the cognitive detection takes a snapshot of his EEG over a brief period of time and uses that to create a signature representative of that state. Hong, why don't you show the list of actions that we can detect here? So during the training sequence, we typically ask a user to envision themselves performing a particular action for these 6 seconds. Users do get better at this over time. We find new users can perform 1 action almost immediately, 2 actions follows pretty quickly, and with practice, 3 or 4 actions become possible. Hong is going to quickly demonstrate training. Okay, the reason I was quiet while he was training is that you do have to maintain a clear focus. The idea is that you need to evoke the same mental state, and that becomes challenging when you're standing in front of a group of developers in a presentation situation. Your mind tends to wander, you're not necessarily focusing on the action you're performing. We're used to sitting in front of text editors, so this is a bit of a different experience for us. So let's see how well this works. Hong, can you demonstrate pushing the cube across the screen or back into the screen? I think we're going to do one more training sequence. There we go. One thing that I'll point out just briefly that's interesting, on the right-hand side of the screen, we actually see these percentages displayed. That actually corresponds to action skill, and I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, but I'm not surprised that we just required 2 trainings. What that gives you is some indication of the skill level, which really is indicative of how closely the 2 mental states in subsequent training sessions were aligned. So if I see 0%, that means that the first training session looked nothing like the second training session. And that's why I say the user becomes better at this over time. Okay, let's move away from the control panel for now.